Hello there.
Hello there.
And welcome to What If Qui-Gon Didn't Die? My name's Jamie.
And my name's Shaun.
And we love talking about Star Wars.
Star Wars we do.
This is our Monday episode where we just consider alternative ideas within the Star Wars universe.
Head canon.
Head canon indeed. We talk a little bit of smack and cheese.
Yes, we do.
Now, my friend over there is giving clues as to who we might be talking about.
Yeah. Can't you guess?
Can't you guess? Guess, can't you? So, let's get into it, mate.
Get into it, we must.
Would you like to tell us what this episode's going to be about?
The premise of this episode is...
Now, first of all, can you give me a title that's concise, or would you like me to take it because it's written down in front of me?
You say the title, because I can't remember.
Okay, what if Yoda faced the Emperor in Return of the Jedi?
Very nice.
So, now you can break it down.
So I'm going to break it down now. So in episode 6... Luke goes, I've got to go and find Yoda again. Oh, I've got to go and find Yoda. Oh, got to go and find Yoda.
Training is not complete.
Training is not complete. Not complete. He goes back and Yoda's had enough of his damn questions about his father. To be fair, what I don't get is, he gets annoyed that Luke's asking him questions, and I'm like that. Why didn't you and Obi-Wan just bloody tell him in the first place?
Well, yeah.
You know, it would save you a bloody headache. It's like me and Jeannie all over again. I've told her a million times and she still don't get it. The opposite thing with you is, you ain't told him, and now you're getting annoyed with him. and then Yoda gives up and has a nap, and then he gets whisked away by the Force. So what we're sort of saying is, there's a couple of avenues here which we're going to talk about. One, Yoda does die and his Force ghost confronts Palpatine.
Yeah.
Because let's be fair, he can.
Yeah, I don't see why I wouldn't be able to. I'm sure there'll be people out there and go...
You need to wait a whole solar day before you can become a Force ghost when you die.
And also, the Emperor's a Sith, so he can't see Force ghosts. But I don't think that's...
But he can hear him because Episode 9 changed that canon, and the Emperor knew that Rey was getting help from all these people. Let's be fair. What if Yoda didn't actually pass away and he stayed alive just long enough to get on the X-Wing with Luke, and then he went with Luke to face Darth Vader and the Emperor?
Yeah.
Maybe just to talk to Anakin again, but it turns out that, he distracted the Emperor, whatever. Or as what we saw in Episode 9 with Luke Skywalker, which is Force projection.
Yeah.
Maybe he's on Dagobah, the crazy little hermit crab,
and
he's sat there meditating. Meditating. And he sends his little Force projection off to some random Star Destroyer where the Emperor sat, Darth Vader's Star Destroyer, because it's not even like it's a planet, it's a moving ship in space. Alright? And he manages to Force project himself. The Emperor gets a bit scared. And yeah. But it's going to be... It's weird to think about this because the Sith are all about mortality, right?
Yes. They just want to extend their life as much as possible.
Yeah, so you've got the Emps Palps. He wants to stay alive because he's more worried because Plagueis was the same. Plagueis wanted to live forever.
Yeah.
And he only died because, Palps killed him.
What a tragedy.
An absolute tragedy. Have you ever heard about it?
Well, funny you should mention it.
Well, he's in the Acolyte, don't you know, for some strange reason. Are we ever going to find out why? No. So...
Well done, nerds.
Yeah, thank you, nerds. Keyboard warriors, unite. Now we're not going to get an answer to the questions. So... Yoda was already over 900 years old when Luke first met him. When we first meet him in the main trilogy...
Yeah, the OG.
Again, the OG. He was already over 900 years old.
Yeah.
And Palpatine ain't that old. So if he saw Yoda again, after now what we have seen as the crazy ass fight in Coruscant on Episode 3, you're a bit like, wouldn't Palpatine absolutely crap his pants? Because he'd be like, how is this crazy little thing still alive? Is the Force sustaining him? Is he able, what is it? Is he cloning himself like I am? No, clearly not.
No, he can't do that.
Can't do that. Is he sacrificing people to the gods? and he's actually a demon in disguise? No, because I'd feel it straight away.
Yeah.
He's still on the good side of the Force. Yes, he's a rambling idiot, which is what we see in the things, but I actually think Yoda, because as well with this, when Yoda's training Luke, he actually switches on a little bit.
Yeah, once he... So my theory is he's only a bit weird when Luke meets him because he's been lonely for 20 odd years.
Yeah, 20 years on his own.
Yeah, you'd be weird.
Yeah, I would be.
A bumbling old fool. You too would be.
Yeah.
If 900 years old.
Yeah.
You there.
BU. 900 BU years old.
But it is funny that he's gone from being super sharp and switched on, fighting Big Daddy Palps,
Yeah, literally backflipping to have everything.
to then now being to just being unable to do anything because he is just a waste now, isn't he? But when he starts training, once he starts switching on that brain again that says, "I used to train younglings.
Yeah,
I used to be the best."
yeah.
Suddenly he wakes up again. It's like the Force has reignited his brain.
Yeah, it's lit the fire from the embers again, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
gone.
The torch of Gondor has been lit.
That's it, yeah.
And-
the torch of Gondor has been lit. Yeah, sort of great analogy. But yeah, that's so good. Because when he's on his back and he's teaching him to do the handstand and stuff, there's no crazy vibes. It's just concentrate, you shall.
Yeah, he goes from the introduction being like
He's a strange animal creature making a mess.
something you've never seen before.
Yeah.
Something that actually, with the exception of perhaps the Cantina, you don't see many alien species in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Some of them have been added in afterwards.
Yeah.
But when we meet Yoda, all of a sudden, there's this creature that we've never seen before, becomes a main character, or sort of main character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, this is weird. So when we first see Yoda, just like Luke first sees Yoda, that's a weird thing for us to experience.
Yeah. It's
And we
almost
experience
like
it
we're seeing
together.
it from Luke's perspective.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a he's smart and the audience knows that. It's just Luke being an idiot. It's almost like we're seeing it from Luke's side.
We don't know that Yoda is smart
Well,
when
exactly, at
we
this
first
point.
see him,
Yeah.
because
yeah.
that's in the release order. The first time we see him, he's this weird hermit type.
He's whacking R2 with his stick.
Yeah, like he's never seen a droid before.
Yeah, because like I said, the Force gave everybody amnesia
Yeah,
when Palps took over.
they all went into hiding. Brains deteriorated.
Yeah.
Forgot everything.
Yeah.
And then went from there. So, yeah, I think he's crazy from loneliness. I do think he improves because he suddenly switches his brain on again,
Because Luke's there and he's actually got somebody to talk
and
to.
he wants to teach.
And he wants to teach. Yeah, I do like that idea, and that does clear up a lot of things, because if he did force project himself to see Daddy Palps, obviously Luke goes to the ship, yeah, and he's talking to Darth Vader. He's like, "I'm glad you've come, son." You know, and they face the Emperor, and he's like, "Yeah, strike your father down and become my next apprentice.
It is your destiny.
It is your destiny. This prosthetic mask stops me from talking properly." And then Yoda shows up next to Luke, and he's like, "I have brought a friend, Father." And they both turn round, and Vader's like that. "Oh, shit, Yoda! Yoda's here!"
He's the most powerful Jedi.
I've ever seen. And Yoda's just stood there in his funny little, you know...
He just looks at Vader and goes,
Yeah. He doesn't even have a lightsaber anymore, which I think was silly anyway. We've said this before. He should never have had a lightsaber.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I think he was above a lightsaber, just like Palps.
Yeah.
Didn't need it.
Yeah, Palps never needed a lightsaber either.
No.
That was weird. That was silly.
Yeah.
Dooku was the one who should have had a lightsaber. A proper swordsman.
Yes.
Yoda was never a swordsman. He was a monk. Yeah, so... And then Yoda... And then what would happen then is, like... Imagine Vader and Palpatine then, if Yoda was there, and they thought he was there. Would Palps be able to see that he was a projection? I don't know. Yoda's probably, in my eyes, a little bit more powerful than Palps.
Yeah.
So, like, he would obviously... There would be instant panic, I think. Because now we know the last memory that Palp says of Yoda is of him nearly kicking his butt. You know, and it's that meme in it with Mace Windu on top of the thing. You kick his ass, he killed all our friends. Yeah, so like surely they would panic, and surely Luke would just be like, "This is great."
Yeah.
But then Luke still can't kill Palpatine, so I don't know if it would change anything, because Luke's going to go, "Well, I can't kill you, and I'm not going to kill my father." Yoda might talk to Anakin, and Vader's just going to go, "No."
Well, the difference, I think, a fundamental thing to remember is Palpatine dares Luke to strike him down.
Yes.
Because he knows that he'd become a Sith, because he's goading him, and it would be done out of anger.
Yes.
If Luke or Yoda can get Palpatine to attack first, it becomes defense, and therefore...
Which is the Jedi way.
Which is the Jedi way.
Yes.
So by having Yoda there might have caused Palpatine to make the first move, because Yoda doesn't care. He's going to die, or he knows he's going to die, or he can see his...
Yeah, you can see his end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got nothing to lose. He wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
He would just be like a final sacrifice.
Yeah. A bit like Ben.
Yeah.
Ben Kenobi.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, sacrificing himself for the good cause.
Which actually is a brilliant parallel.
Yeah.
If Yoda was able to do the same that Obi-Wan did with Darth Vader,
yeah,
but with the Emperor,
yeah, that's actually better than all three of those other avenues. If he just did a Ben Kenobi.
Yeah, but he would still be there, and he would still distract, wouldn't he? So in that moment that he's distracted, could Luke then persuade Darth Vader? Could he show Darth Vader that, look, your master is weak.
Yeah.
You don't want to be with him.
Yeah.
He's not the person you think he is. Come with us.
Yeah.
And we'll, you can be good still.
There is still good in you, Father.
Yeah.
And even Yoda could say, Anakin Skywalker, you still are.
Yeah.
Inside.
Dig deep.
Dig deep. Because
or deep dig.
Deep dig. Because Luke could then tell him, "Oh, well, was it Yoda's gaff? And I went in a cave. Guess who I fought? Me, but in your suit."
Yeah.
Because then that would open that line of avenue. Because I don't think Luke's ever told Vader what he did in the cave.
No.
For part of his training. So maybe with Yoda there, Yoda would be like, "In the cave, tell him saw what you..." And Luke would be like, "Oh yeah, I went in a cave, Dad, and I saw myself in your suit." And maybe in that moment, Vader would look at Yoda and go, "Well, I'll be damned.
I've made a mistake.
Yeah, I've made a mistake here. This is crazy. Where's Ahsoka?" Snips, where are you? Snips, where's R2? I miss that little droid.
Yeah.
And Yoda's there going, "Oh yeah." I go, "Oh yeah, I never owned a droid, even though I spent loads of time with a unit when I went in my little crazy ship to learn how to become a Force ghost." Anyway, that aside.
Yeah.
Filoni's creating loopholes to try and fix loopholes, bless him. But yeah, maybe that would be so good though, because then Emperor perhaps could strike him down. Maybe he could force lightning him, and Yoda just stands there and takes it like a good monk. Doesn't even catch it like he does in Episode 3, is it?
Yeah.
He catches Dooku's lightning.
He does, yeah.
Maybe he could just be like, "Come on, do me." Because Luke's already over there talking. Look at him and look at father and son over there.
Look, they're running away, but you're so preoccupied
with me. Now they're going to come back and get you. What's that? The ship's in self-destruct. Ta-ta.
So this is when we looked at it and we thought he could face him whilst he's still alive.
Yeah.
This is great, but when he dies, he dies. If he dies, he dies.
If he dies, he dies.
And the other thing we were looking at was if he was a force projection.
But he could still die at this point, couldn't he?
He could, yeah.
Because he could just use all of his force.
And he could, but the difference is that if he's physically there and he gets attacked by the lightning and he allows it to happen, he will just crumple on the floor and it'll be game over quite quickly. Yeah. Because he's already, at this point he's probably going to be fairly weak. Whereas if he's a projection, he could stand there and just... He would absorb it. Like it wouldn't even touch him. It would just be.
Luke does.
Yeah, and so he could stand there and distract Palpatine for longer. Although it does bring up the question that you've already said: would the Emperor be able to tell
if it was a projection or not.
Yeah, could he feel that force, or would he be confused because the amount of force that the projection has must be equal to the amount of force that Yoda has to project him, because the amount of energy it must take or use to project that distance.
Oh, it'd be magnitudes.
Which is why Luke dies at the end of it. I'm sure it's because,
I think there's something along those lines of it took so much of him to do that to Kylo Ren that he sort of conquered out there. That's a really good idea because he could, because Dagobah is a strong place of power with the Force.
Yes,
that's why he went there.
Yeah,
because he's a monk, he's going to meditate, blah blah blah, and the cave's really powerful. Obviously, Yoda's been in there countless times doing sorts of different trials and stuff. So he could be there channeling that force to do the projection, and then when he's finally ready, because he can turn around and be like, "Oh, Luke's escaped with his father," and we have a little flashback to Ben Kenobi doing the same.
Yeah,
he looks over at the Millennium Falcon. All the gang are there. The Scooby gang are there. Getting on the mystery machine. Scooby's there. And he's like, "Oh, father and son are getting away." Holds his little cane and just shuts his eyes. Ready am I? Bang. Emperor kills him. Switch to Dagobah. He's just sat on his little rocks that are all floating around him.
Yeah.
Because he's a space wizard. The rocks are going to float, aren't they?
Obviously.
And then he just fades away.
Yeah.
And the next thing we know, Vader's, on a ship with Luke, being all nice. "Oh, my old master saved me. Yoda was never your master. But guess who I've got here? Here's Obi-Wan, and there's Yoda. Go and have a chat with them as Force ghosts, because I've had blood enough." Gets Vader in a room with them, and then 2 hours later, Luke's there. He's had 3 cigarettes, and he's just like, "Bloody hell!" It's like a hospital waiting room, isn't it? Have they given birth yet or not in there? Vader opens the door. He's a little bit upset, and you just hear, Ben and Yoda in there having a chat, and then they fade away.
Do you know what I think would be good about this? Is when at the end of Return of the Jedi, Anakin comes back as a Force ghost.
As Anakin
Skywalker. He probably shouldn't be able to do that because he can't have had time to learn how to do it because he was Sith for so long.
Yeah. When did he go to the special planet where you learn to be a Force ghost?
Right.
Unless it's because he's the chosen one.
Perhaps.
So he's been able to do it since being birthed.
But if he was able to communicate with Yoda and Obi-Wan in the moments before, they could probably impart all this knowledge.
Yeah, but they probably did, didn't they? Because I know Qui-Gon did too, because Qui-Gon learned how to do it.
Yeah.
And then his sort of Force talking thing that Ben Kenobi does, "Use the Force, Luke." He's the one who then said to Yoda, "Go to this planet and do this."
Yeah.
So he wasn't physically there telling Yoda to do it. It was his Force projection almost doing it. This is an episode in the Clone Wars, people. It's a bit strange, but it does answer a few questions as to how do they do it? Because it's not just the Force chooses.
No.
Because they also said Sith can't do it, but which makes Vader sort of moot. But yeah, Anakin Skywalker was not Sith. He was Lord Vader when he turned, so it's a bit like, surely, he can do it. But yeah, thing is, if they redid them films now, I reckon they would change Yoda quite a lot.
Yeah, I think so.
I reckon he could still be crazy puppet thing, but I reckon they would change his ending to Luke talking to him, and then he's getting annoyed with Luke, and then he goes, "You know what, I just need a nap," and then he goes. I reckon they would probably involve him a little bit more. Now they've done the prequels as well, they could be like, right, we need to sort of round off Yoda here, being a bit more like that than like this. Because he can be like this when he talks to Luke in episode 8 and 9.
Yeah.
He can be the crazy old puppet, sit with the stick and worried about the book. Stop worrying about the book. Whereas we need to sort of round off this. Yeah, he's 900 years old, but he can backflip like a Mopro.
Yeah.
It does get the mind thinking. because he's got to be powerful enough to do these things, and he's definitely got to be powerful enough for force projection.
I think if Luke can do it, although Luke is son of the chosen one, so
But
perhaps
he's always been a sort of mediocre Jedi. We've said this, haven't we?
Yeah, but then he's dedicated his life to not reading those special scriptures,
Yeah.
but keeping them safe forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though he's the last Jedi,
The
or
last Jedi.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's difficult, isn't it? Because what would you rather? I would rather him be there in the flesh, and he does a Ben Kenobi.
I think so.
I think I'd rather that for my own little personal headcanon.
Yeah, I think I'd rather that, and I think that even in his final moments, he would be able to repel some of those attacks from the Emperor,
Oh yeah, of course.
because the Emperor's old as well.
Yeah, he's old, and all we see in them at later films is the Force lightning.
Yeah,
We never see him force choke anybody. Not like Vader. We never see him push anybody around.
no,
And yeah, he's supposed to be all powerful, but it makes sense as well in like episode 9. He sat in that chair, and all he can do is force lightning.
yeah. Well, that's it. He's
He's not getting up, running around, back flipping, force choking people as he's back flipping, which you would do, wouldn't you?
if you were that strong with the Force, and the Force could sustain you,
Yeah, the Force sustains me.
then surely it would give him the energy to do what he needs to do.
Well, this is what I was thinking. Yeah, same with Yoda.
Yeah, Yoda could call on that Force to go, right,
I'm young again.
you know how my spine's a bit crooked? Guess what? Force fixed it.
Yeah,
Even if only temporarily.
yeah. Well, this is it. It's like the special juice Logan takes in Logan.
Right.
At the end.
I've never watched it.
He takes the special X-Force juice because he's basically died, but it's like one little stim shot before the end, and he finally gets just enough power back to beat the last boss, and then he dies anyway. And then obviously we lead into Deadpool and Wolverine, but yeah, sort of like, and then Kanan Jarrus lost his eyesight. What did the Force do? Gave him his eyesight back to say goodbye to the love of his life. Then he died.
Yeah.
So it's able to do it. We've seen that the Force is able to do it.
As a final push.
Yeah, it gives you just what you need to get the job done.
Yeah, so it could sustain Yoda for the final. It gave Luke the projection.
Yeah.
Just before he died. Could give Yoda life to battle with the Emperor.
Yeah.
Even if it's an old man versus old man.
Yeah, game of chess.
Yeah, walking sticks at dawn.
yeah. But it would just be force lightning and a little bit of to and throwing, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But I think the key point of having Yoda there would not be to defeat the Emperor.
No. Distraction.
It would be distraction, because I don't think Yoda would have enough power, even with the Force helping him, to overturn the power of the Emperor. The Emperor was defeated because he was distracted.
Yeah.
He was so busy lightning
Luke, yeah.
that he didn't see Darth Vader.
Get up and no.
Do his favourite Alan Rickman impression.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It literally is.
No, Potter, no.
Potter, no. Yeah. Which is it's just the age of the film. But yes, so good, because then as well, if Yoda did that, if Yoda was distracting him, the last fight between Luke and the Emperor, it probably wouldn't be like that, because he would have already turned Lord Vader back to Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
So the Emperor would be on the back foot. And then what would happen was, yes, Yoda died doing this, and it would be a bit more emotional, because you'd be like, Yoda died for this.
Also, if Darth Vader becomes Anakin again, he's no longer the thrall of the Emperor, so
No.
he no longer
Needs to listen to him.
and is blinded by him.
Yeah, exactly.
So he can make his own decision again, and he can go, "Oh, Master, I was wrong."
Yeah.
And then he can be like, so you could have Anakin Skywalker as Anakin Skywalker. Yes, he still looks like Darth Vader to keep him alive.
Yeah.
And Luke Skywalker, father and son, simultaneously fighting the Emperor rather than just a distraction.
Yeah. Because can you imagine Vader doing his long sort of hard strokes.
Yeah.
And then Luke's there. He's sort of like the in-between of the Clone Wars backflip era when they're all ninjas.
Because it would be interesting to see. So the Emperor would have to focus on one or the other, surely.
He'd probably focus on Anakin for getting rid of him.
Do you think so?
Yeah, because he wants Luke to kill him still, doesn't he? His end goal is probably, Luke, if you kill me, you will become a Sith Lord.
Only if he's not defending himself.
But he doesn't have to, because the fight's already started at that point.
But
the Emperor could stop.
But you could say that Darth Vader, now as Anakin, is on Luke's team.
Yeah.
And so if he attacks your team as defense, you would team up and you would take on, wouldn't you? So you wouldn't really be you wouldn't be attacking unsolicited. You would still be defending. You'd be defending your partner, your dad, your teammate.
Yeah.
So therefore, I don't think it would work out that he would become the next.
Oh yeah, but this is what I mean. He'd be distracted enough from Vader.
Yeah.
To be trying to switch Luke, you know. But then because I do know that obviously Vader his body is controlled by Palpatine almost, because the suit is a torture device.
It is, yeah.
So, but say they went away, Yoda let him escape. Surely Vader's suit could be, remade.
Yeah.
And he's got the typical Jedi white and brown colours. And it's still a bucket helmet, because it's Vader.
Well, yeah,
it's just a white one.
Yeah.
Imagine he rocks up and he's got the same suit but it's white. Oh, it's not hurting him no more. Oh, he's suddenly a happy chap. He hasn't got crotch itch again.
Well, they might not give him a suit. They might just stick on some prosthetic legs and arms or whatever.
Yeah, and sort of make him look.
And they'd send him off to Turkey to get himself some new hair,
boobs. What?
some hair plugs and whatever,
Yeah, and then the Emperor would be more worried about Luke anyway, so Vader could sort of sort him out. But that would happen because of Yoda in the first place.
Yeah,
I think it's a real nice idea that Yoda could do that. I would rather Yoda be there in the flesh. The Force projection is good, but he's already extremely old, and I think it's just a bit weird then. And I know we know that the Force could sustain him, but imagine somebody who doesn't live for Star Wars going, how's he able to do that? He's basically dead.
Yeah, it's nonsense.
It is nonsense.
I suppose by the time we see Luke Skywalker do it, the people who are watching that film have probably watched all the other films
1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6,
and likely seen some series and are now expecting some degree of weirdness.
Yeah.
Or thing unexpected. Yeah. Oh, look, there's a new power.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably not. It's not a new power, but it would just be new for the films and
new for the people who are now watching these films later on,
If you were to drop this in 1983, would people be like, this is nonsense?
Yeah.
Like Star Wars was nonsense anyway, but this is too much.
Yeah, this is crazy. He hasn't even got on a ship to get there.
Yeah, that's just not
Everybody's
possible.
got to go on a spaceship. Stop being silly.
Yeah.
I know they've got whales and stuff that they can jump in and...
But we don't know about that in the films, do we?
No, we don't. No, but, this is the thing, yeah. Yeah, this is it. Oh, so what other avenue did we have? So Force projection, being there in the flesh.
Or appearing as a Force ghost.
So he's already died.
So, yes, so he could die as he dies in Dagobah.
When Luke goes back to face, he could come as a Force
ghost. So we actually wouldn't need to see Yoda throughout the rest of the film.
No.
Because if he was to appear there physically, he would have to feature in the film all the way to the end.
Yes.
Which might be good, might be bad, probably bad, because we like Yoda, but he's quirky and he's probably a bit too much to have constantly there.
Yeah.
As a projection, he could turn up at the end, fine, that would work. But as a Force ghost, he dies and you think that's it, it's game over.
Yeah, maybe his voice randomly here and there.
So I think the Force ghost idea is quite good in the fact that you think he's dead. You've already seen that Obi-Wan is able to have a presence.
Yeah.
So when Yoda's able to be there as a Force ghost, so pseudo-physically, it's not that much of a shock, it's not that much of a jump, but maybe he becomes like the ghost of Christmas future
Yeah.
to the Emperor, because I'm sure the Emperor would be able to see.
He's the Emperor.
Yeah, he'd be able to see the Force ghost. Most other Sith wouldn't, but
He's so powerful.
he is everywhere. So you'd have less of a fight. But what if, just thinking on the fly here, what if Yoda didn't go and talk to the Emperor, but what if he talked to Darth Vader instead? And he turned up and influenced Darth Vader to make him think, because he knows that Darth Vader can't attack him.
Yeah, because he's a ghost.
And Darth Vader would know that. So what if he was able to say, look, Anakin, we know this has been tough for you, but Luke
Did you wrong? Look at what you could be.
Luke is your son,
Yeah.
and you should be helping him,
Yeah.
but we need to stop the Emperor. And
Yeah.
and Anakin or Darth would be like, it is too late for me.
It is too late for me.
And then Yoda would be like, but help your son you could.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that influence there might be the difference in the fight,
Yeah.
where maybe,
I actually prefer that. Now you've said that, I prefer that idea. Just him sitting with Vader, though.
yeah,
And Vader could get nasty and horrible, flip a table over,
yeah.
because he's an angry little cunt.
But he wouldn't be able to influence Yoda's presence.
No, because Yoda would just be sat there going, angry you are.
Still angry.
Let it go,
So-
you must.
I saw this
Yeah.
when you were just little.
Yeah,
Clouded your future was.
Yeah, I told you. Yeah, because he could say, couldn't he?
Yeah,
We saw that you clouted you. I cared about your mother. You did, and then Anakin could go. You didn't help me find her. She was taken and she was killed and blah blah blah. And Yoda can say she went back to the Force.
yeah.
And then Anakin will be like, oh, do you think I should forgive you and let it go then? Let it go.
What would your mother do for you?
Yeah.
And what would you do for your son?
Yeah. And daughter. And they go, what? A daughter? And all Yoda's got to say is, yeah, think long and hard about that. And then disappear. And Anakin's there going, what the? No! Oh, but yeah, honestly though. Because then...
Because then when it comes to the final fight, Darth Vader loses his hand. And I know it's just a robot
Again.
hand. Yeah.
Again.
And it can be replaced. But doesn't need to.
No. Why doesn't he need to?
Because he didn't need to fight Luke
No.
in the first place. Because all he has to do is stand by the Emperor's side.
Yeah.
Luke doesn't need to know of the plan.
No.
But Anakin, inside Darth Vader's suit, could be thinking about it. And he can be doing that, looking from Luke, looking to the Emperor, thing that he does anyway later on.
With his bucket helmet. Just like that. What the hell is going on here?
But when it starts to get nasty, and the Emperor's distracted by Luke, saying that he will die, Darth Vader can go,
Yeah.
no. And then Darth Vader's not injured mortally,
No.
so then he could survive. And then they could live happily ever after.
And the Source could sustain him. If he went back to the light side of the Force, old Anakin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that maybe the Force would look after him a little bit.
And
'Cause
then,
he is the chosen one.
and then when Ben Solo turns up,
Yeah.
he doesn't have these granddaddy issues anymore, does he?
No.
Because Vader's not there as the influence to his bad side.
Yeah. He's just dad.
Fixes a lot of stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Balance is restored.
Balance is restored by Anakin Skywalker going back to the fold as a grey Jedi,
Yeah.
meditating, becoming a monk. Do you know what? He might even set himself up to do a Yoda and just pass away.
Well, he might, yeah.
Because he's so powerful with the Force. He goes like, I'm really glad you saved me, son. And I know it's been a year, but you need a missus. I'm going to go die now.
Yeah.
Goes into the little woods as a lay down, and off he pops.
Just says, I'll be with you always.
Yeah. Just
But
shout for me.
I need to go now
Yeah.
and return my life force
Yeah.
back to the universe.
The Force will guide me, And then the scene at the end of 6 would still make sense because it'd still be Anakin stood next to Obi-Wan and Yoda ghost.
Yeah.
You know, it's just our actual thing is would Yoda, because it's quickly become Darth Vader here. Yoda's seriously just like, if he does this one tiny little thing, it affects it massively.
But it's still
the thing that needs to happen.
It's more of a direct influence from Yoda.
Yeah, than Luke talking to him.
Yeah, so once Yoda goes in the actual films, he doesn't have any influence over the Emperor. He doesn't have any influence over Darth Vader. He barely has influence over Luke Skywalker at this point.
Yeah.
He's helped teach him the ways of the Force. But actually, in this scenario, he could actually have a more positive outcome.
Yeah.
And Anakin could have a proper redemption there.
Yeah, and it wouldn't
but
just
built up rather than just a last second, I am dying, but okay.
I want to be good again.
Yeah.
Can I be good?
Yeah, it's begging for forgiveness on your deathbed and hoping that you still get to go to heaven.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Claiming the life insurance even though you knew you was already done for.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah, because it would work. It really would work. Because also what I don't get is Vader dies because Palpatine zaps him with the old energy.
Yeah.
But his suit can take a punishment. So why did Vader die?
Yeah.
Maybe that's another episode. Why did Vader die?
Yeah.
Because he was only 42. Granted, I know he was a mess.
Yeah,
He was a mess of a man, but he was only 42.
Yeah, interesting. But let's save that for another time. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like the idea of Yoda going there. Luke could take him, and you could have that whole build-up, couldn't you? You could have Palpatine. There's a presence on this ship I have not felt in a long time, and then because you wouldn't need to know that Luke took Yoda there.
No.
But by episode 6, we're all a bit like that. Yoda's pretty cool. He's kooky, all right?
There's something about him I'd like to see more. Everybody loved Yoda.
Of course they do.
Before we had episode 1, 2 and 3, everybody loved Yoda.
Everybody still loved him. The crazy little man puppet who just, battered stuff with his stick. Emperor says, I feel a presence on this ship. Luke walks in. I'm here to speak with my father. Being all sort of prim and proper. Jabba the Hutt is dead. Or whatever he says. And Emperor's just going, no, something's off here. Don't like this. And then he just did a little clink of his staff.
His little walking stick.
His little walking stick. Vader's like that, looking up and around. Palps is looking straight through Luke at the door. Yoda walks in. Same thing as well, because do they have guards?
There would have been the Red Guards, but I think the Emperor sends them away.
I was going to say, because he could do what he did in episode 3 and just push them out the door anyway.
Yeah, I think he would be able to control them.
Yeah, and then of course Vader's there going, because don't Vader think Yoda's dead?
Mm-hmm.
So when he walks in, Vader will just be absolutely like, oh my god, like, didn't even think, didn't even know that this guy was alive.
Yeah, it would spin them all out, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Oh. And then Luke's just there being all cocky.
Yeah.
Like, I knew he was coming, Father. Yeah, because you brought him in your ship. So you knew, didn't you? But, yeah. And then there doesn't even have to be a fight between, like you said, there doesn't even have to be a fight between Yoda and Palpatine to make it work. Yoda could literally just, I'm going to go now.
Yeah.
And the Emperor's already all over the shop. And then guess what? Vader's force choked him to death. But then here's a quick little other avenue. Episode 5, Vader's on Cloud City, right?
Yeah.
Obviously Han Solo walks in, you sneaky mother, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
What if Yoda force projected himself then and Han and Leia and Chewie sat down with Vader, who had already spoken to Yoda? So by the time Cloud City comes around, Vader's already got it in his head that he's going to be a good guy, but he just needs to play it cool for a little while.
Yeah.
Because if he did that, granted, he could still put Han Solo into carbonite. However, it would mean that Yoda would... Oh, God. I don't know.
Tricky.
Yeah, because would Yoda be on Cloud City? I mean, if he force projected himself, he would probably go when Han and that showed up. Because Luke's still with him, though, isn't he?
I don't think he would have gone because he wasn't as committed to Luke at that point.
But Luke was there while they were on Cloud City, right? Luke was actually on Dagobah.
Yeah. Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
So he could be meditating while Luke's running around in the jungle.
That's why he has to leave.
Because
but if you go now, almost certain death for your friends.
Yeah. And he goes anyway, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Or maybe Luke could say, come with me then. You're all powerful, Master.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really hard, isn't it, to pinpoint, because in episode 5, obviously, still not opened up enough.
No.
But he could change the whole story if he went to Cloud City and spoke to Vader. Because again, Vader doesn't even have to know he's there. He could say he feels a presence, right? And he's just about to put Han Solo in the carbonite. And obviously Lando's stressing because he made a deal with the Empire that's just going more and more and more wrong. And then all we hear at the top of the stairs before Han Solo gets put in, I love you, Han. I know. Clink. Clink.
You love this idea.
Clink. Yeah, the little clink, and he's just at the top of the stairs. He's got the high ground. Vader's down there. Vader instantly loses his shite, pulls his lightsaber out. What does Yoda do? Come here. That's enough of that. Puts the lightsaber away. We don't need them.
Yeah.
Stop this now. You're not attacking me. Don't be silly. Luke's there as well. Luke's there behind.
I don't think that Yoda could take Darth Vader's lightsaber.
Out of his hands.
No.
He's more powerful with the Force.
He is, but he couldn't have done that to Dooku. He had to fight Dooku.
Oh, but that was silly prequel era must use lightsaber.
I know, and I get that, but
they've already done it then, haven't they? The canon's already there. Alright, maybe he doesn't take his lightsaber, but he's definitely stood on top of the high ground with Luke, looking down at Vader, and he goes,
going, high ground I've got.
High ground I have got.
Try it, you must not.
Yeah, try it, you must not. Do or do not, there is no try.
Brother, you thought I was.
Yeah. Feel my wrath now, and he just pulls out his little winky and takes a wee on Vader from the top of the stairs. Because Luke could be there. And then Leia's obviously like, Luke, and Han's like, Luke. Oh. Because maybe at that point then Vader could maybe strike a deal up. Because it's all these things, isn't it? It's about, Yoda wouldn't even have to get in with Palps as long as he could sway Vader in time to be the good guy.
Yeah.
Because if Vader was the good guy earlier, he could play along a little bit, yes, but he could also tell the rebels what tactical sort of things all the stuff is.
I think Palpatine would know, though.
Palpatine does know everything, and he would be able to feel Yoda, wouldn't he? He'd know straight away if Yoda came into system on Luke's ship. He'd go, oh, somebody's here, really powerful, can only be Yoda, why isn't he dead? Then all hell breaks loose.
Force blanking.
Force blank. But is Force, can Yoda Force blank though?
Well, I don't know, all the Jedi went into hiding, didn't they?
Yeah.
And hid their powers.
But I don't think Yoda hid his powers. I think Dagobah was just such a little arse crack in the middle of nowhere. Nobody bothered to go there.
Yeah.
Because the Palpatine wouldn't... I don't think Palpatine sort of bothers much.
No.
After 66 to go out and look for Jedi. It's actually a tough one. Because it's all well and good Yoda doing these things, but it's got to work within the story of how Palpatine and Vader will react.
Yeah, I think that the Force Ghost idea was possibly the best idea of the lot.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of Yoda turning up to face the Emperor directly, but I don't think it would really work out. But I think if he was able to Force Ghost project some sort of message to Vader, it could influence the outcome.
Yeah.
It could influence how Vader reacts, and maybe could help Vader survive as Anakin rather than die as a sacrifice.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then that would then change the story going on, I suppose, but that would be the way I'd look at it. Anyway.
Well, maybe Vader would still die to become Anakin Skywalker's ghost. But just Yoda having that little bit more pizzazz and a little bit more power, maybe that's all we need. We don't need it to affect how the story goes, because they all should die.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, it'd probably be better that Anakin Skywalker passes away once he's turned back to the good side. It's just the in-between bit that it would change. But it's actually quite cool to think about, yeah. But I still think the end goal should be the same. When they're having the party on Endor, it should be Anakin, Obi-Wan and Yoda looking at Luke.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't have Yoda walking around with the Ewoks because he just hit them all with his stick. And then they'd hit him with their sticks.
Yeah. And they're probably bigger than he is.
Yeah, a little bit anyway.
Yeah. Well, I think that seems like a good place to wrap up.
Yeah, if anybody has any ideas about this, please get in touch at wiqgdd@gmail.com.
Or you can Instagram DM us at wiqgdd.
Yeah, definitely send your ideas across about this. I want some more Yoda sort of things. There's a little niche window here where Yoda could sort of have a bit more influence. What's your thoughts? Please let me know. Let Jamie know. We might carry on this episode at another time.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Yeah.
Right. Well, pleasure talking to you as always.
And you, my young Padawan.
Look after yourself.
Be good.
And stay out of the sand.
Oh, you could have done out of the sand, Steve.
Out of the sand. I can't do the voice.
It's bloody gone.